Okay, when we look forward to the race, okay, do you feel like this is going to stand pat as to what we saw today in SQ1 through 3, or do you think we see a shakeup? I would imagine McLaren finish better in the Miami Grand Prix on Sunday, but let's talk about the big three, and Mercedes is no longer in that conversation. I think we can all agree that that's fair. But as it pertains to Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren, who do you think on the whole will have the best weekend of those three?
I mean, it's probably going to be Red Bull, right? Like, it's hard to see it any other way. But I think to see how close McLaren can be will be interesting. I don't know how easy it's going to be for Lando to move through the field tomorrow and kind of protect his tyres as he does so, because we know in a sprint race you've got no tyre changes involved, so you've got to look after him a little bit early on. But if he can make some progress, that's good. But then, of course, blank slate for qualifying and the race, and I think there we'll see Lando probably pick up his game a bit and get it right and see the true performance of that McLaren, which it potentially could be. It could be closer to Red Bull, but there's nothing that I've seen today that doesn't suggest that Max Verstappen isn't going to walk it, because he had a bad day and was still on pole position.
Where do you feel like Ferrari falls in the mix when we look at the race preview?
I think potentially you could see a spot where both Ferrari drivers end up ahead of Piastri, just based on what they did today, but where Lando learned the most of any of the drivers today in terms of where he could put that car and where the edge was, right? Because in his own words, he said, he put it out there too hard, right? So I think he knows where he wants the car to be, right? So overall, with the upgrades, I think that McLaren could probably split. That's what I would guess, is that Ferrari would be here and you would see Lando Norris here and Piastri underneath, because I don't think that car, it looked okay, it looked good, but obviously I think Lando's got a higher ceiling based on what he's pushing.
When it comes to the Grand Prix on Sunday, who has a better weekend, Aston Martin or Mercedes?
Oh, I think it's got to be Aston Martin. I mean, really strong start today. I mean, we know what Alonso brings, and hopefully for Stroll, I mean, Stroll had a bit of a nightmare in China driving into the back of Ricciardo. Didn't really like the way he handled himself yesterday, but I feel like if he's got a point to prove, maybe he steps his game up. And to be honest with you, Aston Martin, I think every weekend they're just pretty solid, aren't they? In that mix behind, you never quite know with Mercedes. So right now, I would bet on Aston, but and also because all the noise coming out of Merc is just not great.
Yeah. Does Daniel Ricciardo
win? Yes.
Does Daniel Ricciardo follow through on his good quali in the sprint, and then is he able to keep that momentum going forward on Sunday?
I think points in the sprint are realistic just because of the way it pans out. As long as he gets a decent start, doesn't lose too much ground. I think going into quali in the race, it's actually probably going to be harder, because I think he overperformed, excelled today, while a lot of other people got it very wrong. You can't rely on other people getting it wrong all the time to get results. So I think he might get shuffled back a bit. But look, hey, if he's in the top 10, for quali and the race, that's a big step for Daniel compared to where he's been this year. So it's all positive progress. I just don't think we should expect too much, Nate.
No. Well, I was about to caveat as well. He does have a 3-place grid penalty for the race.
Very good
because
point.
of the incident with Hulkenberg under the safety car. So I feel like even if he won't replicate, it's unlikely to replicate that. I think getting into Q3 would be a huge step for him on tomorrow.
So I'll quote you both: Danny Ricciardo podium. That's what I'm hearing.
Two podiums.
Do you guys think that it's because of the great livery reveal that took place on Wednesday that went so well that's why?
Well, I think the
having
hosting
success?
especially was really spot on. I think the drivers knew where to be. They
starts
did
with
the
that.
cues, everything was spot on. So I think I would say if it was the livery launch, then it's definitely the.
So maybe we should do it
the
more
hosting.
often.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think they should be asking you. Great livery. I thought that looked good on track.
It's pretty car. I like the colors.
I'm
very
still
Miami.
not sure if I like the Ferrari or not. Charles gave us a lovely view of it again on the side, but I just think
that's why
help
he did
the
it.
sponsors, by the way. It was
I honestly think
standpoint.
I was looking at it today. If you do take that HP logo off, it looks a lot better. The HP is just going to annoy everyone all season. It looks so awful being on there. Maybe they can change the blue.
So you're
on
not
there,
a fan of the partnership?
I mean, look, I love the printers. I used to have a HP printer, but I don't like the logo on a Ferrari. So no. I did actually used to have HP. Printed off my
Predictions. I don't know where exactly we stand. I apologize. I know you are maybe 1 point ahead of me, and then I'm 1 point ahead of you.
Yeah,
but we will double confirm that, obviously, when we tie a bow on this after the race. But I will start with you.
Okay.
And Spencer, you're going to get to have an a la carte effort in this
I
with
was
your
gonna say,
predictions.
maybe guess first because I haven't decided
Yeah, I like
yet.
that, yeah.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
I'll go
Are
first.
we going 1, 2, 3?
One,
Yes.
just the top
1, 2,
three.
3.
P1 to 3.
And we're talking about the race, not the sprint, right?
Yeah.
Yes, race. Good distinction.
Race. Okay.
And you have to get it in order.
You get 3 points for first, second points.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm ready to nail this. Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
You get points, basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it's not going to be a
Just mine is strictly for exhibition. Okay?
Yes, yes.
So yes.
Let's
not
just see
for-
if you're the
not for
one-hit
wagering
wonder.
purposes. I'm going to go Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc.
Nice.
Oh, that's
It's a good one. No, I took a good
that's
one.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Nathaniel.
That's annoying because I was going to say something similar. I think
No, this is why you getting to pick first is a big deal.
it's good. I mean, Max first. Yeah, I'm going to say Norris second, and then I'm actually going to put Perez third because I think Red Bull still will be out ahead. And Perez, I know he didn't win here last year, but he was pretty quick here last year, wasn't he? So I put him up there.
Okay. You have Max,
Norris,
Lando, Perez.
Yep.
Okay. You have the same, except you have Leclerc coming in P3.
Yes.
Okay. Laz?
I'm going to do a variation on the theme and say Verstappen, Perez, Norris,
Oh, that is
which is the most boring of
pessimistic.
the three so far.
But actually, if you look at the season so far, it's just been 1-2 central, hasn't it, for Red Bull?
Yeah.
Other than Australia, has it been 1-2 the other way?
But I think this is a circuit where perhaps they are going to struggle a little bit more relative to it's not a Shanghai situation. I don't think this weekend. So yeah, I'm already doubting my own prediction, but I'm going to stick with that.
Nice.
Okay. That leaves me.
Oh,
I'm
I get a
just
sneak peek
doing
of
a
Katie's
whole
here.
variation of what you guys have done. I'm going to go Verstappen, Leclerc, Lando Norris.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
Groundbreaking.
That's-
I know with those selections.
For
I actually
2024,
hope
yeah.
for everybody's sake, none of that happens. Like, it's just.
Yeah, that to me is a perfect example. They say that
Couple DNFs.
in culture and in comedy, Brits are really pessimistic, and Americans have this like lovely, cute optimism. Me and Lawrence
That's
are both
really
with two
fair.
rebels on the podium. You guys are like, I think Lando's going to be there. I think Charles is going to be
Wait,
there.
notice we have the most
Williams,
cautious
everyone.
form of
Yeah, yeah,
optimism.
yeah.
We're like,
It's
the
still-
other good driver will be up
It's
there.
still tempered by the fact Max is winning.
Yeah, I was
I
going to say
like
Max
that.
is still
Max
number
is
one in
still- no.
every single
Yeah,
prediction.
We're not,
We're not brave enough
stupid.
yet.
I kinda wanna
Blindly
change
optimistic.
mine.
Yeah.
No, because I made the optimism point now. You can't change it back.
Okay.
Unless you're putting signs
Just
in there.
for just a bonus, I think Piastri is P4.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
just going to throw it out there.
You know what?
No,
I
not
can-
for points.
Do you want me to offer up the Wildman's 3?
Yeah.
The Wildman's
Yeah.
3.
Give it to
okay?
me.
The Wildman's 3, where you go, a lot of crazy things happen.
This is what we wanted from your actual prediction. but
Okay,
this is-
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. We'll go the Wildman's 3 here, okay? Because no one else is going to do it, and we don't want to play in the realm of too much reality, okay? So the Wildman's 3 here will be Leclerc,
Love that.
right? Sainz, a 1-2 Ferrari.
Nice.
And in the third spot, Danny Rick.
Oh, that is wild, man.
But,
Yeah.
but even if it's a 1-2 Ferrari, I can just imagine Dave booing as he has been
He
every
would.
time we see
Hey,
that.
none of
livery.
us
Hissing
picked
by that.
signs, though. Is that.
Well,
Crazy.
I think that probably reflects his day to day. He made some mistakes, and
Yeah.
and I think it's starting to that tide is starting to turn.
you're
Leclerc, Sainz. You know, we were very impressed by how good Sainz was to start the season. Obviously, the appendicitis thing bounced back from that, but my gut feeling, and obviously Ferrari's gut feeling, given the driver decision they made for next year, is that Leclerc will always eventually win out in that pairing. I
But
think we're maybe going back.
Can we get a minor surgical procedure for Sainz in the next 24 hours? Because if that happens, win.
Put Behrman back in the car. Why not that?
Yeah,
just
sure.
do that for a day. That'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.